How did someone slated to become a professor at Princeton get caught falsifying data? Michael LaCour was a star graduate student in political science at UCLA. He had numerous publications which led to an assistant professorship offer from Princeton after his PhD. In December 2014, he landed another incredible achievement, a publication in Science, the preeminent academic journal of the world. This was the now infamous When Contact Changes Minds, an experiment on transmission of support for gay equality co-authored with Columbia professor Donald Green. This was celebrated for its surprising finding. A single conversation with a gay canvasser created a significant positive change in someone's support for gay rights that could last many months. Before this, many studies found it quite difficult to change people's minds persistently. Two graduate students, great researchers on their own rights, David Brogman and Joshua Kalla of UC Berkeley, started examining the paper in early 2015 while they prepared to replicate its conclusions. However, they became puzzled by minor details of survey methodologies. Participants in LaCour's study responded to follow-up surveys at very high rates and tended to show low variability in their views. Typical studies relying on panel surveys deal with low rates of retesting and high random variation responses that make it harder to show a treatment effect. When Brogman and Kalla started getting results from their replication pilot and couldn't match the original paper's response rates, they reached out to LaCour on May 15th for details about how the original survey was conducted. This is where it all started to unravel. Just 4 days later, everything would be undone. Brogman and Kalla contacted the survey firm they were referred to by LaCour and encountered 3 major problems. First, the firm was not aware of the study they supposedly had run. Second, they never had an employee with the name provided by LaCour. And third, they denied being even capable of the recruitment procedures in the study's methodology. The researchers started uncovering a long list of irregularities in collaboration with P.M. Aronow, a statistics professor at Yale University. Their conclusion? The study's data was simply made up. A pre-existing dataset had random noise appended to it to create the appearance of multiple surveys through time. First, the data about the participants' initial feelings about gay rights is distributed identically to a specific, semi-public political science dataset in several important ways. This is extremely unlikely if it came from random samples of people living in Los Angeles, as the study claims. Second, the purported change in people's attributes also showed an extremely unlikely pattern. Every reported change in attributes was normally distributed, absolutely zero outliers as would occur with real data. This was powerful evidence of an unfortunate conclusion. The study never recruited any participants, never sent out any surveys, and never did any door-to-door canvassing. The discrepancies above were consistent with taking a pre-existing dataset and adding on randomly generated noise to make it seem like time had passed. This noise was engineered to create the statistical outcome that would make for a good paper. On May 18, LaCour admits that he did not accurately describe his data collection, but stands by his paper. Meanwhile, presented with the evidence, his co-author Donald Green submits a retraction request to Science. Green was personally uninvolved in the fabrication, but is still deeply embarrassed in allowing his name to be attached to data submitted by LaCour without careful review. He was able to keep his career in academia. LaCour's position, however, could not be recovered. In 2016, Brogman and Kalla published a paper, Durably Reducing Transphobia, essentially trying to replicate what the paper they debunked was meant to prove. They found that door-to-door canvassing could reduce transphobia, and that the effects persisted for many months, but that the identity of the canvasser did not have a substantial impact on the results. In any case, contact seems to change minds after all.